Coming up on News Live at 6, the Syracuse Common Council will vote on a ceasefire resolution. One Common Council representative says it can't be political when lives are in danger.
Plus, Syracuse University announcing that they will purchase Hotel Schiller. All the details next.
And take me out to the ball game. The Syracuse Mets season gets underway. Was the first game a home run, or did they strike out? News Live at 6 starts right now.
This is CitrusTV News Live at 6, your campus news leader.
Yet another change is coming to housing near campus. Welcome into News Live at 6. I'm Benjamin Schiller.
And I'm Katie Fongvongsa. The university announced it was purchasing Hotel Schiller yesterday. Citrus TV reporter Zach Richter joins us now live at the hotel. And Zach, does this mean that the hotel will close down?
So Katie, the hotel isn't closing down yet, for at least. This university is just taking ownership of the hotel. And all coming, of course, as SU announced its plans to convert the Sheridan into student housing. An SU spokesperson telling Citrus TV News that the acquisition will allow the university to continue providing first-class hotel services to our campus community in a way that aligns with priorities and goals of overarching the strategic housing plan. Now, the Hotel Schiller opened back in 2011 as it was formerly a Jewish temple. The 3-story, 58-room hotel will continue to operate and be managed by Woodbine Hospitality. Woodbine currently runs the hotel in conjunction with Hilton. Now, the university is currently working on a process to make it easier for faculty and staff to reserve rooms at area hotels like Hotel Schiller. More information on that is expected to come out next month. For now, we're live from Hotel Schiller. Zach Richter, Citrus TV News.
Thank you, Zach. Well, today was the opening day for the Syracuse Mets. Citrus TV reporter Peter Barry was at the NBT Bank Stadium learning what's new this season.
East Ball is back in Syracuse. At NBT Bank Stadium, opening day is today. The AAA affiliate of the New York Mets, the Syracuse Mets, kick off the season against the Rochester Red Wings. But baseball is not just the only thing that fans can enjoy. I spoke to the voice of the Syracuse Mets, Michael Tricarico, about what is new with the stadium and what fans should be expecting for the upcoming season.
Just in terms of concessions, is the Wildcat is coming in, so the Wildcat Sports Pub, which is in Camillus. They're going to be doing boneless wings, bone-in wings, tater tots.
On the field, the Syracuse Mets have made upgrades as well, with the additions of veterans and prospects alike.
During this offseason, signing some really experienced veterans who played in Major League Baseball in the past, and those guys are going to be here in Syracuse. And we really think, talking to the coaching staff and talking to the players, that this is a baseball team in Syracuse that is going to win a lot of games this season.
The full schedule was just released with 75 home games, and fans are excited to see the season underway.
I'm excited to see what players are going to get called up, because you have a 40-man roster. They can't take 40 men anymore.
I'm very excited to see all the young stars that we just got last year, with all the trades that we made, getting rid of the pitching from the majors. I'm very excited to see all the young stars that we just got last year, with all the trades that we made, getting rid of the pitching from the majors.
Let's go Mets!
Let's go Mets!
Well, the Syracuse Mets came out on top against the Rochester Red Wings. Let's go Mets!
Let's go Mets!
Well, the Syracuse Mets came out on top against the
Peter Barry, thank you. Yesterday, the women photojournalists of Washington came to Newhouse to educate students about the role and importance of women in visual journalism. Citrus TV reporter Lizzie Gottlieb attended the exhibition and got a close look at the event.
How Traveling Gallery made a stop here at Newhouse. The organization shared their message with students about building community and connections in the industry. Jacqueline Martin, staff photojournalist for the Associated Press in Washington, D.C., and board member of WPOW, says that the organization helps connect future photojournalists.
And this is now the 17th annual traveling exhibition where we take our show on the road, as it were. So this year it's about 10 different universities, and we really just want to show students coming up what women photojournalists can and are doing, be inspiring to the next generation of students, and give you an example of the kind of work that we are doing and help sort of lift all of us up.
Later in the event, Martin gave a speech about her work with WPOW and advice for students.
WPOW's annual exhibition is sponsored by Canon, and our traveling exhibition is sponsored by Leonian Foundation and Sony, which makes it possible for us to send a WPOW member to each university in the series to talk about our experience in photojournalism and answer students' questions.
WPOW also offers seminars and portfolio reviews. For Citrus TV News, I'm Lizzie Gottlieb.
Thank you, Lizzie. Well, April is Sexual Assault Awareness Month. Syracuse University is hosting a series of events aimed at promoting awareness and supporting survivors. There's healing through yoga throughout the month, feminist self-defense courses on April 18th, and healing through clay art therapy on the 18th and 29th.
Staying in Syracuse, DPS opened their newest substation this afternoon. It's on the corner of Marshall Street right across from Duncan. DPS officers spoke with students about safety strategies and available resources. Chief Craig Stone explains why DPS is expanding to Marshall Street.
This is a place where a lot of our students, faculty, staff, visitors, and alumni frequent. So it's going to help us enhance our community engagement, be a visible presence to deter and prevent crime from occurring, and respond to issues.
Stone adds he wants the place to be an open door for students.
And speaking of students looking to add more professional clothing to their wardrobe, the Student Association had them covered. The organization held a career closet event for undergraduate students earlier today in Shine. You can see suits and formal jackets. All the clothing was free and was first come, first serve.
With Holy Week coming to a close, Hendricks Chapel hosted Good Friday service earlier today. Good Friday remembers the crucifixion of Jesus Christ. Citrus TV reporter Jackson Breslin was at the service and saw how the SU community is celebrating.
Were you there when they nailed him to the tree?
With Easter just around the corner, Hendricks Chapel held a Good Friday service hosted by chaplains from all of Hendricks' different Christian denominations. The service reflects on one of the most important events in Christianity.
So Good Friday is remembering Jesus' sacrifice. And so and by saying sacrifice, meaning like he gave his life up for me.
Now just behind me here inside of Hendricks Chapel, students and members of the campus community gathered to celebrate Good Friday. I spoke with Reverend Devin Bartholomew, and he told me about what he wanted attendees to take away from the service.
A time to pause. I think we get so busy, we get so wrapped up in our school, our studies, our clubs, our activities, which are all wonderful gifts that God's given us. And I think taking this intentional time, we talk about physical health and mental health, and I think spiritual health is such a valuable part of our health.
Reverend Bartholomew reflected on the unity that the service brings to the Christian community at Hendricks.
What we have done as chaplains at Hendricks Chapel each year is we get all of our Christian, Catholic, various denomination chaplains together in order to do a joint service for Good Friday. So we offer scriptures and reflections on those scriptures, and then some time for silent meditation as well.
And as attendees reflected at the end of the service, Reverend Bartholomew's words about spiritual healing rang true more than ever. Reporting in Syracuse, Jackson Breslin, Citrus TV News.
Jackson, thank you. And staying in Syracuse, the weather seems to be back and forth like it is usually at the end of March. Like last week it was snowing. Then we had some warm weather. We were in shorts on Tuesday and Wednesday, and now it's cold again.
I know, it's been really windy. I felt like I was going to get blown away outside, and I'm really ready for like that summer weather, but it's like, just barely shy of April. But Senator Congel is in studio to tell us more about what's ahead. Spencer?
Yeah, we're not quite seeing those nice summer temperatures yet. 38 degrees outside right now, pretty chilly. The sun was out earlier, but like you said, it was very windy, so it did feel pretty cold if you were outside today. Looking around central New York, we're seeing pretty much the same temperatures all around. Upper 30s, lower 40s. Nothing too out of the ordinary. That wind is being seen throughout central New York, so pretty consistent there. As we move into later tonight, things will get a bit colder, not too freezing. We won't be seeing any snow, don't worry about that. We'll see a low of 33 overnight. It will be mostly cloudy, and that wind that we are experiencing now will go away overnight, so you won't have to worry about that. That's all on weather for now. Katie and Ben, back to you.
Well, blown away by your coverage, Spencer. Thank you. Earth Day is next month. There will be multiple cleanup events happening around the city. Onondaga County Resource Recovery Agency's cleanup program is picking up trash on the 13th. They've removed nearly 3 million pounds of junk and debris since they started. Other events include the cleanup of the Rosamond Gifford Zoo on April 19th and the cleanup of downtown Syracuse on April 20th.
The Syracuse Common Council meets weekly to discuss city legislation, policies, and community concerns. Citrus TV reporter Leah Cohn spoke with the Common Council members to understand what developments have been made on passing a ceasefire resolution here in Syracuse.
Thanks, Ben. Public Safety Representative Dr. Choma Joke attended a Q ceasefire resolution forum last week at the Northside Learning Center. He spoke to attendees about the permanent ceasefire resolution that the coalition, made up of 19 local organizations, demands to be passed by the Common Council. Members of the organization say they are calling on Syracuse to help reach a ceasefire in Gaza and free Palestine. Dr. Choma Joke says that right now he and Common Council member Ria Padaguara is focusing on getting the resolution prepared for a Common Council vote on April 8th.
Is to make sure that there is a language that is comfortable for councilors to be able to vote on. Because I and Councilor Peñago cannot pass it if we don't get at least 5 votes, including our vote.
Majoke says that he is focusing on supporting Palestinians and Israelis and to save children's lives. According to the council member, there is nothing political about lives. According to City Clerk Patricia McBride, who records and certifies all city resolution and laws, says she and other council members will not comment on the ceasefire since they do not know the details on the resolution. Majoke says where he stands on the ceasefire that is in demand.
Where I stand is just to stop the fighting. That's where I stand, and that's where a number of councilors stand. Although it is a federal issue, we have residents here that are connected to those individuals that are suffering, and we care a lot about our residents.
Citrus TV will keep you updated on the Common Council's process leading up to April 8th. Next week, we will speak with Dr. Majoke about resolution developments and discuss with Syracuse community members outside of the Q Ceasefire Coalition about how they feel about the resolution.
Well, we've been telling you about the Syracuse housing shortage. Now, online rental market Zumper is finding out how just much more expensive rent is getting in Salt City. This year, Syracuse jumped from 93rd nationally to the 77th for most expensive rents. Median rent for a 1-bedroom apartment was just over $1,000 and over $1,300 for 2 bedrooms. Apartment Advisor ranked Syracuse as the most competitive rental market in the country last month.
We brought you the story on Wednesday here at Citrus TV. On Wednesday this past week, another driver hit the Onondaga Lake Parkway Bridge. Now we know the driver received 25 tickets for the collision. The road has numerous signs warning drivers of the low clearance. In January, the Village of Liverpool expanded its truck ban to include more road signs and higher fines for drivers ignoring them. Wednesday's driver was not injured.
And many are excited for next month's total solar eclipse here in the 315. Prisoners and their families won't be able to see the eclipse together on April 8th. Prisons around the state are canceling visitation because of the eclipse. 23 locations are restricting guests, including nearby facilities in Cayuga, Mohawk, Auburn, Clinton, and Marcy.
Coming up, another year, another late budget. The holdups for the state budget as an extension gets passed.
Plus, another arrest in the case of the dead 5-year-old Nefertiti Harris, who's behind bars after the break.
Fancy pants peanut butter? A big screen television? You haven't even bought a sofa yet. A motorcycle? When your father finds out, he's gonna flip his shoes with 2 buckles? What do you even need 2 buckles for? Mr. Big Shot, buying whiskey shots for everybody in the bar. From the looks of it, I'd say nobody even remembers. Feed the pig.
I see you mobbing over her. Let's go. Let's mob. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, we mobbing. Come on, girl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Boom. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Boom. Hey, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Boom.
Dad?
Just 1 minute, okay?
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Can birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
You're watching Citrus TV News live at 6 with Benjamin Schiller, Katie Fongvongsa, and Maura Vaughn. Now, your campus news leader continues.
Welcome back to News Live at 6. We have new details in an effort. T.D. Harris, the 5-year-old killed in Syracuse, the boyfriend of the child's mother, is now behind bars. Cloris Parks is charged with disposal of a corpse. Letitia Mott, the mother, is charged with manslaughter in the case.
Yesterday, a vigil was held for Nefertiti. The site where her body was found is now covered with teddy bears, balloons, and flowers.
Well, you've heard this before. The New York State budget is being delayed for the 3rd year in a row. Governor Kathy Hochul signing a 3-day state budget extension earlier today. The fiscal year begins this Monday.
Governor Hochul says she feels like a final deal is close, but with Easter weekend upon us, a deal will have to wait. Major talking points in this year's budget include housing and tenant protections, as well as retail theft penalties.
And now the latest. American journalist Evan Gershkovich has now spent a year in Russian prison. The Wall Street Journal reporter is in prison for espionage, a charge the U.S. government and dozens of media organizations say is false.
The Wall Street Journal left their front page blank today in his honor. The headline reading, "His story should be here."
Harvard University says its undergraduate applications were down 5% this year. It means the school will have its highest admission rate in 4 years at about 3.6%.
It's been a tumultuous year at the school. The school's president, Claudine Gay, resigned following a congressional hearing and backlash over anti-Semitism on campus. The same incident prompted many alumni to pull funding. The school was also on the losing end of the Supreme Court's affirmative action case this summer.
Your full 5-day forecast and a look at temperatures this April. Stay with us.
It's a beautiful day out here. Sunny today with light breezes, giving way to clouds in the afternoon. We could see some light precipitation to moderate precipitation later on, followed by powerful storm-like conditions. 90 miles per hour winds are expected. Authorities are asking everyone, stay indoors. Come on, that's it. Let's go.
They took over my bedroom. Come on, come on. Okay, Dad. 1, 2, 3. Dad! You saved me. Dad?
Are you okay?
I'm fine, dear.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
From the Citrus TV Weather Center, this is SU's most accurate weather forecast.
Welcome back to News Live at 6. This weekend's going to be pretty cloudy, and even into next week, it's going to be pretty cloudy too. We may see the sun peek out a little bit, but I wouldn't count on it. Temperatures in the upper 40s and low 50s throughout the week. We may see some rain on Tuesday and Wednesday. We'll see when we get there. Now, let's take a look at our temperatures last April. There was a high of 88, so things are looking up as we move into April. But last April was kind of cold, a low of 26, and as you can see in this graph here, there's a lot of days where we were hovering around these 30s and 40s temperatures in April, only just a few days up in the 80s and 70s, those nice summer temperatures and spring temperatures that we'd be expecting from April. Hopefully, we'll see some warmer temperatures this April, kind of like we've been seeing in February and March here, but you never know. This is Syracuse, New York, and the weather kind of does whatever it wants. That's all I've got for now for weather. Ben and Katie, back to you.
Well, Katie, temperatures are coming down, but you know what else is coming down? Prices are coming down across the U.S. A new report by the Federal Reserve shows inflation slowed. Costs for core prices, which exclude volatile things like food and energy costs, rose 3% from January to February. That's less than the increase we've seen in the previous months, Katie.
Well, inflation still remains higher than the Federal Reserve's 2% annual target. They're aiming for what they call a soft landing, a combination of easing inflation with steady growth and hiring while avoiding a recession.
Guys, Syracuse men's lacrosse has its toughest and biggest test of the season tomorrow in South Bend. We'll have all the details right after the break. Stay with us.
Here's your check. Oh, you got it. Since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. God, no.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early. You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Come on, it's not that hard.
My big man fingers are having a problem with these little tiny buttons.
Whoa, watch it there. Your blood pressure's gonna go through the roof.
Tell me about it. I'm trying to learn how to get it down. Instead, it keeps going up.
High blood pressure can increase the risk for heart attack or stroke. Learn how to keep yours at a healthy range.
Ever hear a voice command? Just say text barbershop to 97779.
That's not what I said.
Just give me that. Now my blood pressure's up.
And now, your Citrus TV Sports Report.
Syracuse men's lacrosse has a top 5 showdown in less than 24 hours, looking to close out the untouched month of March. Welcome into sports. I'm Andrew Della, Piana. The saying goes, good offense beats good defense. Well, tomorrow's showdown between number 3 Syracuse and number 1 Notre Dame will determine if that's a true testament. The Irish enter the matchup leading the country in scoring offense, averaging 17 goals per game. On the other hand, the Orange boast the 6th best defense in the nation, holding opponents to just under 9 tallies per contest. With something needing to give in South Bend, head coach Gary Gate is confident in his unit and the progress they've made this season.
Now you basically you have Nick Kakimo in there and Caden Cole and then Billy and it makes it a great group of 4 that's kind of rotating through that, and they've really developed some chemistry, and along with the midfield defense, they're just going to keep getting better.
Well, Coach Gate, that defense is going to have its hands full tomorrow with Pat Cavanaugh. The Notre Dame graduate student attacker has 43 points in his 5 meetings against Syracuse all time. In his career, he's notched 10 points 3 times. 2 of those have come against SU, and of course, Joey Spallina on the offensive end has to show up and show out for Syracuse to knock off the top team in the nation. Again, face-off for tomorrow, set for 2 o'clock. Stay locked into Adam_Gawkin on X for full coverage. On the women's side, 5th-ranked Syracuse hopes to remain unbeaten in conference play when it hosts Louisville tomorrow. The Orange have dominated the series history against the Cardinals, winning 13 of the 14 matchups. However, Louisville is rolling right now after a 1-4 start to their season. The Cards have climbed back to a 500 mark after picking up 2 ACC wins over crucial ACC opponents. Opening draw for tomorrow set for noon. Make sure to follow our Citrus TV women's lacrosse beat reporter at Rahil Jaswal on X for live in-game updates. Speaking of social media, earlier today it was announced on X that Syracuse men's basketball assistant coach Jerry McNamara will be the next head coach at Siena College. McNamara has been on the SU staff since 2009 after being one of the most respected players in program history. GMAC holds the Orange's all-time career record for made threes and even had his number 3 jersey retired in the Dome last March. The 40-year-old is best remembered for scoring 18 points on 6 triples in the 2003 National Championship game just as a freshman. He takes over a rebuilding Saints program that went 4-28 this season. Let's go to the pros, though, where the lone star tonight is the Sabres as they continue their home stand when they host a back-to-back set against the Devils. Buffalo can pull within 6 points of the second wildcard spot with a victory. New Jersey also in the thick of things, though, in the playoff race, currently 3 points ahead of the Sabres, with each team having played 73 games. Wrapping things up in Major League Baseball, though, the Yankees and Astros get set for Game 2 of their weekend series. What a opening day victory it was for the Pinstripes. Juan Soto shining in his Yankees debut, driving in the first run of the season, but it was that outfield assist in the 9th inning to cut down the game-tying run at home. Brian Cashman, what a pull-off it was for him to get Juan Soto over from San Diego. That's going to pay off very well, I think, in October, guys, but we'll have to just see. Back to you guys.
We'll have to see on that. Coming back on News Live at 6, your last look at the wake-up weather forecast for tomorrow.
If you love them enough to crawl into a play place to get them to come down, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Hey, look, it's those guys. Are you good to drive?
I'm fine.
How many did you have?
I should be fine.
You should be?
Go and step out of the vehicle for me.
See ya, buddy. Good luck. So turns out, buzz driving and drunk driving, they're the same thing, and it costs around $10,000. So not worth it.
All right, as we hop into Easter weekend, temperatures are going to be about what we're seeing today, not too warm, not too cold, and it'll be mostly cloudy throughout the day tomorrow. Katie and Ben, back to you.
Spencer, thank you. Here's one last news story for your Friday. As Election Day approaches, many Americans are siding between President Joe Biden and President Donald Trump. One Dallas man is trying to offer Americans another choice. He's running as literally anybody else? And listen to this, he changed his name legally to that.
Well, Mr. Anybody Else is a middle school teacher. He says, quote, America should not be stuck between choosing the king of debt and an 81-year-old. Literally anybody else isn't a person, it's a rally cry.
It's a great story to end their Friday on. That's Citrus TV News Live at 6 for this Friday.
And don't forget, you can follow us on X and Instagram at Citrus TV News. Now, for the entire Citrus TV News team, I'm Katie Fongvongsa.
I'm Benjamin Schiller. Have a great night, Syracuse.